Hello.
We are live. You want to not go live? Hello there, Fresh Perspective. Thank you so much for coming. I'm just waiting for Tia Marie.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, can you hear me?
All right, thank you. I'm having a little bit of trouble. I'm trying to get on camera here. I do apologize if you guys can. Thank you for the live stream. Let's see if I can. Welcome, welcome.
Well, happy holiday.
Happy holidays. Good to see you. So I am trying to get, and I apologize, you all, I'm trying to get my video together so that I can actually see some of your beautiful faces and we can chop it up a little bit. I want to make sure I give some shout outs to some of my friends who have done some awesome things this year, you included.
Thank you.
What plans do you have tonight for the next couple of days for New Year?
Well, I'm recuperating from a cold, so I'm not going out and spreading any germs. So I'm going to stay in a couple more days, even though I'm feeling better.
Okay.
I want to protect anybody from any germs, so I'm going to stay in a couple more days.
Okay. Yeah. That is probably wise. I am also getting over an unfortunate illness and trying to be on the mend as well. Yeah. To my producer, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting on to, let me just see if I can get this to come on. Is my producer with us?
Yes, I'm just here waiting.
So do you see me trying to get in through let's see, download for Google Play. For some reason, I can't join on my phone. I think I'm going to take one of these off.
I only see one. Well, of course, me, but I only see one of you. So you know what? Maybe.
What is happening different here? Just one more. I usually ask if you want to be on more than one device, which I do. Got that. And I do apologize. Thank you so much for just hanging out with us for a moment while I sort this out. I am not a good technical person.
Oh, I'm the same way. Listen, I didn't have anything to do. I said, well, all the wonderful nuggets Tia dropped me. Let me drop in.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some stuff for you today. Now, do you see I'm gonna stay co-host.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm gonna say I got it, and I'm gonna hopefully get some camera working here.
I see it says the audio is trying to connect there.
So I'm gonna mute.
Just fix your audio. You're on mute.
Hopefully you can see me now.
Yes, now we can see you. Yay.
All right. So, oh my goodness, so much to talk about. So this past year, as we all know, hopefully is my Wi-Fi okay? How's that feel?
Are you a little muffled?
Muffled. I think I know why. Hopefully we can edit this out in like some post-production. How is that?
Oh, that's much better. Okay, say something.
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3, loud and clear. All right, so right now, what are we currently streaming on?
So right now we are live on YouTube under Kendrick Soul with Tia Marie, Facebook.
Awesome.
And Facebook, and of course Zoom. So I won't be able to do all of the fun, exciting strolls and pop-ups because I realized with Zoom, I will have to do it a different way. And I will have
Okay.
to, so, but we are streaming, but I can't do the fun stuff.
No, what I want to be able to do is just see what posts come up that are live. And so I'm trying to find where that is.
So that will be, it should be right on your main screen. And let me
All right.
go, I'm going to go mute for 1 second, but I'll listen. I'm listening.
This is always fun. I do one of these every year to try to connect with everybody, but because I am not savvy in this way, I struggle. All right. So I have a couple of things that I wanted to talk to everybody about. One is to say, y'all made it. It is the end of the year. One of the things that we have experienced is coming and really calling this full year kind of the post-COVID year, if some of us are so bold to say so. And I would be remiss if I, did not bring, I have a real cocktail. So some of you I know have a mocktail. I have a real cocktail. But I invite you to pull out your mocktail as well for those of us who may have to drive or have other activities going on this evening. I also want to hopefully engage some of our friends. I have been so blessed and so fortunate this year to have some of my co-activists out there who really stepped up this year as it related to our political, our educational, as well as just what we did in the community. So I do want to say, one, we have one of our guests on with us. Can you say hello and just kind of hang out with us? If you got to drop off, I totally understand. Can you say hello to us? From Fresh Perspectives.
Okay, sure. I didn't know if you were talking to me.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. And I don't know if it's chopping in and out, so I apologize if it is.
Yeah, so hello. I just wanted to connect. Tia, I really appreciated us talking a few months ago. You dropped a couple of wonderful nuggets, and I know how busy you are. And with me trying to get reacclimated back to Michigan, I wanted to let you know that I did connect with West Bloomfield. I did make some connection, but haven't got a response back from, let me see, what's that area that's right outside of Livonia? Off 8 Mile and Grand River area.
That was the former school, Clarenceville. Is that the one?
Clarenceville. I left a message from Clarenceville. I haven't heard back from them. Left a message for Farmington. Have not had any luck with Oak Park schools, but I have a letter going out to the superintendent. His administrators said send a letter, and just want to make sure we connect.
Can I have you do this? Can you tell the folks maybe in like 2 minutes exactly what it is that you're proposing to our school districts? Because one of the things that I try to do is obviously lift up the work that all of you all are doing, but also lift what support you need. So in about 2 minutes, because we're only going to be on for about an hour tonight, and I want to have other folks that are going to come in and chime in on some of the stuff that's going on. But just for 2 minutes, just tell the folks what it is you're offering to the different school districts, how you help our students, and if you can drop how folks can get in touch with you.
Sure. Fresh Perspective Seminars is the nonprofit organization that I run. We're a grassroots organization that's been around for about 10 years. I've been away from Michigan, however, but popping back in and out of Michigan, doing a couple of signature programs we have. We're known for doing the Black Friday Scholarship Boot Camp and Pursuing Your Dreams Scholarship Boot Camp. I'm Gwen Thomas, by the way, the author of The Parent's Smart Guide to Sending Your Kids to College Without Going Broke. And in the work that I do, I started about a little over 11 years ago when I had a son in the Oakland district. He was in West Bloomfield School District, and I was successful in helping him navigate to win $500,000 in scholarships. And though it's been 10 years, right after that, people kept saying, listen, you know, I heard about your son. Can you help my son? Can you help my daughter? And I started doing that, just meeting at Panera Bread on Orchard Lake Road. And that led to a series of programs that I got corporate sponsorships for. And we're now in the 10th year, and we're a full-fledged nonprofit, actually doing programs all across the globe. But the programs that we're hoping to get in is, you know, of course, these schools have had COVID dollars. And normally I will come in through Avid dollars or Title I dollars that they're allowed to pay me through. I do a parent workshop and I do a student workshop. And then I do a writing series. And the writing series is to help students write stronger scholarships essays. Students of color typically will write the scholarships to get them in, but not write to win. And so we're in a unique situation because a lot of the families that are in our school districts, you know, the students have the abilities, but sometimes will rely on, you know, mom will pay for college, dad will pay for college, and they never even apply for scholarships. So our goal is to cut the gap with the cost of paying for college, so our families of color can go to school free of college debt.
Thank you. And I know there's a whole mouthful more you could add to that because, as you mentioned, you've been in many of the other school districts. You've actually also done some things at the collegiate level. So I think, one, I'm just grateful that you continue to do the work that you do, even if you have some of the challenges, and you always keep a very beautiful, beautiful spirit about it. So I thank you. I love your energy. So that's what makes it really great and fun to work with you. But I'm excited for 2023 with all of the things that are going on with additional funds coming from the state for some of our students, but particularly for going to school here in Michigan. And so I just want you to feel free to, in the chat, put your contact information. We'll also try to make sure that we post it on the OAFN, the Oakland African American Family Network. You can continue to post there. And I just thank you so much, Gwen, for, you know, staying at it, looking out for our kids, you know, above and beyond the K through 12 to really put them in a secure position. So thank you. It is my pleasure to know you. And I'm also say cheers to you, sister.
Okay, thank you. I look forward to working with you in 2023.
Yes, 2023 that's our hot year now. You know, if everybody's talking about hot girl summer, this is going to be a hot year for the things that we need to have happen for our community. So I'm just grateful for the work that you do, and I want you to keep doing it and keep staying connected to us. And like I said, post on our OAFN Facebook page. And families, friends, as you are in your school district, that they aren't already introducing what Gwen is working on, then you need to ask for it. Oftentimes, you know, the voices of our parents and our families are the loudest voices to get things done. And if you have a ninth grader, really 9th through 12th grade, they really should be looking at what this looks like. I have college students that are adults, and we're still doing scholarships, and we're still looking for dollars. So this is necessary. So thank you. I'm glad that you were able to help us kick off this part of our program tonight. Thank you, Quinn, and Happy New Year.
Same to you.
All right, friends. I also saw another friend that joined me. I'm still trying to find out where the Facebook Live is. So I don't know where to even find my own live, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to figure out where am I on Facebook.
Just go to your Facebook page.
Good on Facebook.
Do you see it on Facebook, or
Yes.
nobody sees it? You do see it on Facebook? Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I don't see it yet, so I got to figure out how.
Go to your Facebook page, your personal page.
I'm there.
It should
Where
be right
am I?
underneath the style pin.
Excuse me.
Oh, there we go. Okay, because I just wanted to see if anybody was leaving comments in Facebook. Oh, yep, I do see my sister, so there we go. Thank you, sister. Let's see. All right. Thank you, Gwen. Gwen's putting her contact information. I'm going to try to see if I can also get it over to you all onto Facebook as well. All right, so Facebook and Zoom don't like working together. Let's see if I can get this to work better. Okay, we're still good, still live. So I can't play the live on Facebook. They don't play nice together. I have to pick one, Zoom or Facebook. But anyway, so just going down the line. So thank you, Gwen, for kicking off our education piece. I want to add a couple more things regarding education. One is, I think I told you guys, I want to thank Community Equity Organization for the education bill for Black education in the state of Michigan. Danielle Ware has been amazing in making sure from financial literacy to the well with our Black men's health to something that she has upcoming, which is the Black men's health fair that you'll also see posted. Check out more information around Danica Community Development Incorporated, as well as Community Equity Organization. As it stands within the Farmington area, she's been extremely instrumental in making sure that our students have an equitable opportunity and that we are fully engaged in what happens with them. So I just want to thank and say cheers to Danielle and all of her work this year. She hosted her first gala for Danica Community Development, which was amazing. It was a masquerade, and we really had a fun time. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is that Danielle? I see in the room. Danielle, I thought it's you, which I think it is. Did you want to come on and say anything since I had you as a guest on my show?
I wasn't going to. I was just going to sit quietly and listen and say cheers in the background. But I say thank you. I say thank you for lifting up Community Equity Organization and partnering with us for all of the social justice work that we do within in the education space, as well as our city government space, because we don't just focus on education. We also focus on making sure that representation is accurate and happening for each one of our communities in Oakland County. So I want to thank you for your partnership and thank OAFN for their partnership. You guys are a force to be reckoned with. All of the African-American parent networks in all of the schools are absolutely important. And if the administrations there don't understand, I think that they are missing out on a wonderful opportunity to partner with us as we continue to set our goals as the Black community and then execute, because we've moved past just talking about it.
Absolutely. One of the things that we learned in this past year, especially after our movements in and around education, as well as in our communities for equity and to stop some of the really heinous behaviors and really, around police brutality, around housing, employment. As we address that, we do have to be that force to reckon with. So I thank you for giving us a hub within Community Equity Organization, which is really set the benchmark for me as to how we go about doing that in a strategic way and in a passionate way and in a protected way, really, because there is community within that network that will give you access to the people, to the resources that are necessary to really position us for what those next steps are. So I'm really excited for 2023. It's been an amazing, amazing year working with Community Equity Organization as well as Danica Community Development. They're both very near and dear to my heart. So I also say cheers. So thank you. And I know I put you on the spot, but I appreciate you for always kind of just knowing I'm gonna do that and just be on the ready.
Yes, ma'am, I have learned.
So I also want to say this year, my dear friend with Exam Experts, which is Mr. Mayberry, who has been always giving, always showing up. Like literally, I point and he shows up. Where the schools that we have that need help with SAT scoring, our kids that are struggling in math and some of their core subjects, he's been just amazing in that regard. So I thank my very, very dear friend, Mr. Mark Mayberry, for that. And if you guys are not sure what Exam Experts does, please check them out. It is a Black-owned, Black-run SAT prep and supportive services for our students. And so we've already mentioned as well. So cheers to you as well, my friend. Thank you for always over the years just being a great resource and really helping some of our kids get through their struggles, particularly in math and some of the subjects as they came back into school. All right, I'm sorry, you guys, this light is so bright, so I'm trying to like have ample lighting, but also not go blind. So let me just make some adjustments here. All right, hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, so, and hopefully you have your mocktails and your cocktails. I am drinking some kind of white wine. This is a real cocktail. I've had the kind of year that is deserving of a real cocktail, but if you want to in the chat, please mark what mocktail you might be having. I'm always curious for some fun options. And just so we can say this, I am not driving tonight. Thank you, Danielle, for put both organizations in the chat if you can, because I'm hoping people will watch this later and also come back. So moving through education, we are going to talk a little bit about, I think we'll do the African American Family Networks. I just want to send a huge, huge shout out to all of the AFN leadership. So AFN, it is our African American Family Networks. I became the chair of our Oakland African American Family Network back in July, right after the leadership of Edwina Patterson, who served for the last couple of years and got us through COVID and the pandemic and everything that we had to endure during that time. And earlier this year, hosted a really great MLK Day event where we actually had our families come on and our students to kind of express what all of that experience had been and kind of what the next steps were. So I'm going to send a shout out to, I'm going to try to make sure I remember everybody's name, but to our Troy AFN, we have Avondale and Arbor Hills, we have Farmington Hills, we have Berkeley, Ferndale, West Bloomfield, Birmingham, Novi, Northville, South Lyon. And if I missed anybody, please forgive me and charge it to my heart, not charge it to my mind and my COVID brain and not my heart. All of our leadership and all of those AFNs have done a fantastic job, again, getting us through COVID, and particularly this year as kids that went back into school. Many of you host Saturday schools, super Saturday schools with, like I think about Art and Khadijah Fobbs and some of the folks that we have had that have helped to bring our kids further along. There's been hundreds of thousands of dollars raised to provide scholarships. So I just want to say, as your current chair of OAFN, I just thank you for your hard work. I'm going to try to, like I said, say everybody's name. We got Sonia James in West Bloomfield. We have Brian Castleberry and Princess Castleberry in Avondale and Arbor Hills. We have Edwina Patterson. We have Regina over in Rochester, I believe, Dr. TJ Copeland. We have TC Copeland. We have our folks in Fappin and Farmington with Centoria and April Brooks. And we have Thomas. Gosh, if I'm forgetting anybody's name, please forgive me. Khadijah Fobbs. We have Crystal over in Ferndale. We have Cornelius in Troy. If I missed anybody, just please charge it to my heart, my mind and not my heart. Love you guys for all the work that you put in for our students tirelessly as volunteers, the students that you serve, as well as the families, and keeping us an African-American family glue. It is not easy. Many of you have been serving. I am actually, my African-American Family Network came from was being ran by Paula and Troy Henry, who passed the torch on to me earlier this October. We also have Tracy and Monica, Tracy Stevenson and Monica Henry out of Northville, who have been holding down Northville for the last, 5 or 6 years now. So I just want to say thank you to my Athens. You guys mean a lot to me. I'm very passionate. Earlier this year, we also had Dr. J. Marks, who retired after many years of service, not just to Oakland schools, but particularly the African American Family Network held a very special place in his heart. And he's always been supportive, and he will be missed. Cornelius, and he's missed because he's retired and like probably on an island somewhere, but well deserved, well deserved. And we'll miss him in this space. He is still the chair of the Oakland African American Male Task Force, and still a huge voice of reason and support to our network. We would not be where we were in a lot of regards had it not been for him really hand-holding myself and many of our other leaders as we navigated the school space. So thank you to Dr. J. Marks and all of his service. We're really grateful. What else? I feel like I'm in a terrible camera angle, y'all, so I'm trying to get sorted here. Okay. Oh, so many people to thank. What else did we do this year, y'all? Oh, we did a Juneteenth event earlier this year. I did my very first Juneteenth event. And why this was significant is, as an employee of the city of Novi for many years, since 2014, it was not a recognized holiday in our city and in many cities. And when our federal government made it a priority to make this a focal point of our community, I was able to participate with a wonderful, wonderful mentor, Dr. Patricia Coleman Burns. Her son and I have been crossing over in our work here in the Novi area for the last few years, but to really be able to be included for an additional year in some of the work that she was doing with her church, with Beloved Community, and to do another year with like Sakita Johnson and Daniel Ware, and just some really Irene Lutz, and oh gosh, I'm going to forget some names. Who else? Lynn Mirth, and just so many really great partners who wanted to make sure that from the standpoint of equity, that not only did they support the work that we were trying to do, but they gave of their time, their energy to be co-hosts and panelists for some of the Juneteenth programs that were going on in the community. So I'm just really grateful for their mentoring, their tireless work. These are some amazing rock star women that have been in Oakland County really doing it. So thank you for those that came out to our Juneteenth, our first one here in Novi. It was just nothing but energy. My family came out. A lot of our neighbors here in Novi, but also in our surrounding areas, came from far and wide to come and support that effort. So I'm looking forward to it. At the same weekend, which was really awesome, some of our partners, like in Farmington, hosted the backpack drive to actually have school supplies to be able to give out to our kids for a second year. So that got launched, and those school supplies were able to be shared earlier this semester. The parents of African-American students in Novi participated in a what I'm going to call it, like a backpack drive with El Bethel, as well as the Northville African American Family Network, and that was headed by my dear friend Tracy Stevenson. So thank you for that work. And I think there were almost 1,000 backpacks given out, y'all, from this partnership of several communities, which was Redford, Farmington, South Novi, and Northville, to make sure that our kiddos had the supplies that they needed going into the new year. So just grateful. My hat's off to all of those wonderful people. I wanted to also, oh my God, gosh, just so many people to thank. I am not going to be able to thank everybody. I have some honorable mentions of just folks that are doing some great stuff out here. I want to thank Sonia Weston for all of her work with Young People Travel. If you don't know about Young People Travel, first of all, check us out on our OAFN Facebook page. On there, you will see that earlier this year, she took about, I think, 21 to 22 students to Dubai. And if you go to her website, you will see more information about that trip, and you will see the upcoming trip for 2023. So definitely check her out. And her and Dewan Woods, who's also a very good friend. Dewan Woods, as I was leaving our NEF after 5 years of service, and leaving as the vice president of the Novi Educational Foundation, I was able to help vote in Sonia Weston and Dewan Woods as our new upcoming members. And why is that significant? Sonia is only the fourth Black woman in 36 years to be part of that organization and to sit as a trustee on that board. And Dewan Woods is one of the first Black men in its entire history of 36 years to sit on that board. And I had the pleasure of being on the scholarship committee and making sure that a few of our students in our district, I believe this year we gave away 5 or 6 scholarships. You have to forgive my memory, but I was able to have some additional Black men join our board for the scholarships, which was in servitude because they're not paid, they weren't board members, but they gave of their time throughout the season. So I have a special thank you for Pastor David John, Pastor Roselle White. We also had Anthony Hamilton. I had, oh my gosh, Tony I'm sorry, Burgess. I had Monica Henry also join me on that board to help to figure out, which was the most Black people on that board that board has ever seen in its entire history. So I just want to say thank you to all of those who helped usher in and help me say goodbye to 5 years of service in that board, but also help me usher in and welcome the new people that are on that board. And the more that you can follow that work with the Novi Educational Foundation, I encourage you to, because that was the Novi Educational Foundation. I encourage you to reach out to your local educational foundation as well as to support our local foundation. Okay, so much I told y'all. It's going to be like, I'm not going to get through everything tonight. I'm realizing that no matter what I do, I probably need a part 2, a part 3, and a part 4, because the folks that show up in my life all day, every day, have just impacted me in such a significant way that there is just not enough time to say thank you. And the thank yous just aren't big enough, but I want to make sure I get some shout outs there. Okay, so moving on to, let's see, we did Juneteenth. Oh, we also, so, oh my gosh, you guys, for the first time, I decided to take on a bike rally and a concert. So I have some folks to thank for that. The first people that I want to thank are my own children. Taylor and Cameron, my baby girls, were so instrumental in making sure that not only did I stay the course, but that were so helpful for me at that time. So shout out to, the girls, and that's girls with a Z, because they are the truth, y'all. But I wanted to host for the Tia Marie Sanders Foundation, which we started earlier this year. I wanted to host a bike rally because I'm becoming an avid bike rider. It's something I got to do over COVID really intentionally for the first time, which was very helpful for the strengthening of my health, to get my lung capacity up. That was not too trying on my body. And I got to meet a couple other bike clubs. So we kicked off our first annual bike rally. And I had my dear friend, Mike Mumford, who came out. And you guys don't know, like, Mike is like the real deal. Like, literally a couple weeks before doing our little local concert, which he did a beautiful job. His band was just so crisp and just so beautiful, and to be out on a beautiful day in the park and just enjoy that day. Oh my God, I could not have asked for a better opportunity. But just like 2 weeks before that, he was playing alongside people like Boney James, and he's played with some of the greats. So he's been very wonderful and giving in my life over the last few years. So I just also want to make sure I say cheers to him. I also want to thank Two Steppers. They came out and helped us do some dance moves. I think some of y'all saw my moves on Facebook. Not cute, but I was just doing my best. So I thank you all who not only donated and took all my dozens of emails and a dozen changes, but thank you for letting me bring that to our community. It was a lot of fun, and my family was there. My sister was there. Monica came. I don't know if y'all saw Monica and Tracy out there dancing with me, but just know we're going to do it again this year coming up. So that's one of my events that'll be coming up for 2023. What else did we do this year? Oh my gosh, you guys. So I'll go back. I did start the Tia Marie Sanders Foundation. I'm hoping that my producer will drop some stuff down in the chat because I can't multitask right now. But the Tia Marie Sanders Foundation, one of the first things that we did was to help one of our students that was at Eastern in a collaboration with the parents of African American students in Novi, and also Elizabeth Hall and her family helped to contribute, and a few other friends that are eluding me right now, but thank you all, helped us to pay the tuition of a student at Eastern who is thriving. She's in her senior year, doing really well, ended up getting her own apartment and just really flourishing, and wants to go into, I believe it's psychology. She was recognized shortly after we made sure that her tuition was paid. She was able to go on to write an outstanding paper that was recognized by the school. So you guys, when you invest in the projects or the people that I'm working with, I hope that you see that we make sure that it's life-changing, right? That it has an impact on a young person's life. That if you see me put out the bat signal, just know I'm going to bat for somebody. That young lady had every statistical thing that could happen that would stop her from being successful. But because of community members like Life Changing Ministries and J Cares and Zelphia's Community Kitchen, which we'll talk a little bit about that as well, because of you all stepping up, because I asked you to, we have really changed the lives of some of our young people. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. We did the HBCU trip earlier this year, where the Novi Rotary, in partnership with Kat Dooley, who's a member of an employee with National Food Group, really came to bat to make sure that some of our students went on an HBCU trip. Danica Community Development also donated so a Novi student could go on to that HBCU trip. The trip is with Extreme Tours, Extreme Tours. And they took about 150 students this year. We also had a student from the Ann Arbor Rotary that was sponsored to go. And I believe we had Southfield, and I want to say one more city that is, can't remember right now, but we were able to send several students from our area onto that HBCU field trip. It is happening again next year. Art Jack out of Birmingham helped us to kick off the HBCU trip this year. So thank you to Crystal Dozier for all of her work. Extreme Tours is Extreme Tours is based out of Southfield. So if you want to know more, please keep following us on Facebook, where you can actually see some of the posters that we post about those upcoming trips. But thank you to our partners who stepped up to make sure our kids could go. I will be asking you again in 2023 to make sure that we support more kids going. What else? Oh, because we started the Tia Marie Sanders Foundation, we were also able to donate to a couple different projects. One was a Black History project that took place in February, where in the Clarenceville School District, we were able to donate some things to the foundation. And I was also able to host, so I know many of you know, I did a program called Feed the Need for about 8 years in Novi with the Novi Rotary. I transitioned out of that position, resigned, and started to put my effort into the Blue Hive summer enrichment camp. And this time, guys, we did it completely different than we do Feed the Need. We did it on location at one of our apartment complexes, where we really wanted to make sure that, because we don't have mass transportation, we wanted to make sure that kids had an opportunity to have these things right in their own backyard. So we went mobile this year, and it was so much fun. Some of my former students were able to come back for the summer from U of M and from Central Michigan. And some of the kids who volunteered with us in the past were able to help us not only host programs at some of the local apartments, but they actually helped to create the programming. Because I really was like, hey, where's some areas where we can have just some youth leadership, if you will, which, as you all know, I'm a big advocate of our young people having their own business, having their own perspective added to what our community looks like. And so I'm really, really proud of the 11 weeks that we did with Blue Dove summer enrichment, and we're hoping to have that again this summer. So your donations do go to help buy materials. This was a hot summer, so we were able to make sure the kids had a tent, so they're in a shaded area. We had popsicles for them on the really hot days, and snacks and bottled water. We had all kinds of activities for them around STEM and beautiful art. If you look back at some of our Facebook posts, you'll see some of the pictures of the kids having a really good time. So I do look forward to being able to do that this year. What else did we do? Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff that I'm just trying to remember what all we did. Politically, let's talk about politics. Let's move from the kids in the summer to politics. So as you all know, in 2019, I ran for city council and did not win that time, but keep your eyes open for a future date. We may be doing some things. But I was able to participate with the Oakland County Transportation. I was one of the spokespersons for our Novi district for Oakland County to actually encourage people to vote for transportation with the transit regional transit group based out of Detroit. And I'm very grateful to people like Gwen Markham, who has been very supportive. In 2019, one of my platform agendas was mass transportation through our city. And so to see that in 2022, that the voters of Novi and other places in Oakland County at 57% voted for transportation just literally made my day. I'm so proud of the effort. I'm grateful to Gwen Markham, to, oh my gosh, my brain is getting caught here. Dave Woodward, Dave Coulter, the Oakland County Transit Authority, to Megan Owens for all of her support in organizing and helping us to get structured, and many, many more people who helped support me here in Oakland County and in Novi with our transit initiative, because we won, guys. We won, and now in 2023, there will be opportunities for each one of the cities to participate as citizens to discuss how does that funding now from the millage, which I believe is around $63 million for Oakland County, to really bring transportation in multiple different ways based on what the community says their needs are. I'm very, very proud of that effort. I also have spent the last maybe 2 years with Mothering Justice. I'm one of the spokespersons for Mothering Justice in our Southeastern Michigan region. And we were able, in partnership with, so my main person I just want to acknowledge is Aisha, who has been just, oh my God, she's been a rock through Mothering Justice. Ever since we ever met, when she came out to Novi a few years back, she's really been a sister in arms as it relates to Black maternal health, as well as how we support our Black women, Black and brown women throughout Oakland County. I've learned so much under her, and I've had an area of that part of my life just expanded. So I thank her, but she brought me in with Rock Financial, not Rock Financial, I'm so sorry, with Rock and with Rock United and oh my God, Family Values at Work, as well as Oakland Forward and some of the other groups that I am forgetting the name of right now, y'all, I'm sorry. To really bring about two things. One is the Michigan minimum wage, which I actually got to be a plaintiff on that case and share my COVID story, along with many others who stood with us at the Capitol here in Lansing. Just rock star leaders and activists in our area. So I'm really proud that this past August, the minimum wage, as well as time to care, which is providing income for people so that they can either take care of themselves or take care of their family members and not lose their job and still get compensation. It did pass, I believe, I'm going to say August 8th, but it is being challenged. And so we are still a little bit in a court battle, but I'm hoping that 2023, with the support of our governor, Governor Whitmer and our attorney governor, that we will actually get this passed, signed, sealed, and delivered. But myself and those who were plaintiffs in that case will continue to fight and continue to advocate so that families get the care that they need, and that our citizens, which is right now about 630 to 650,000 Michigan residents, are making below at or below minimum wage, which is not a living wage at all. And many of our residents are in that between, let's say, $7, $8 to the $15 range, and are really struggling. So, and there aren't support systems. So as you know, we are going to keep fighting that fight. I'm going to pause and take a drink here because I also want us to have fun, y'all. So are y'all still with me? Are we having fun yet? All right, so a couple of things that I also got to be a part of this year was, what else did we pass? Oh, Impact Church came to our community in Novi, which is the second church that I've been able to help to bring to our Novi citizens. We have Life Changing Ministries Church, where Pastor Roselle and Stacy White are the presiding ministers and pastors for that church. That if y'all understand one thing about my church, and I'm not going to get all preachy, so, forgive me, but one of the things that I love about this church, and really Impact Church to that regard, with Pastor David John and his wife Grace John and their family, is that our churches have been really great at showing up in this community, not just as disciples, but as community leaders. They have instilled not only in myself, so anything you see that you like about how I am in the community, know that they have turned out with Real First Ladies, with Zophia's Community Kitchen, with J Cares, with Feed the Need, and even the Tia Marie Sanders Foundation. They have helped to turn out in all of us the ability to use our work as ministry, but to also see ourselves as the church in the community. And so the way we do church is through service. The way we show up is through service, and the way that we hope that people come to know their spiritual journey is through service. So I'm just really grateful for both of those churches. My daughter has also found a church home in Impact Church. It's just came on, gosh, I want to say it was like late September, early October when they opened. They're right at 9 Mile and Novi Road. And then Life Changing Ministries Church, we actually do a hybrid. So we meet in person, and we also meet at the Hilton Hotel in Novi. So if you want to find out about both of those, please go to the websites. It's Life Changing Ministries Church in Novi and Impact Church in Novi. And I think you will be mesmerized, changed, inspired by both ministers. Really, they have just a beautiful, beautiful spirit and energy. All right, politically too, I want to acknowledge my dear friend, Chris Ford. Chris is currently, and I'm going to hopefully get this right. Let me just see if I can go down here. And I've got so many more people to talk about, y'all. I only got about 10 minutes. If y'all want to stay with me, I'm going to go over. I already see it. I already know it. I'm going to go over tonight. But just hang out with me and ring in this new year with me, if you would be so kind, just because I have so many people to thank, and I don't want to miss, hopefully, anybody. But my good friend Chris is currently the constituency director for Senator Veronica Kleinfeld. Chris was actually on the, let me go back. Chris and I met during his campaign throughout Oakland County with a candidate that unfortunately did not make the cut for our Senate, which was our Andy, but he took that momentum and turned it into more opportunities for voices like my own and some of our other activists in the area to be able to leverage our voices in new and higher places, if that makes sense. So I just want to thank Chris for his work and his commitment to the work that we've been doing. Oh my gosh, y'all, so many people. I want to thank Charles Thomas, He had the When You Vote, We Win, When You Vote, I Win, I'm sorry, campaign to really get people not to just register, but to actually vote. And when you talk about a person that's on fire and was knocking on doors and doing texts and making sure that people knew about what was going on in the political scene and really engaging them, I have to thank people like Charles Thomas. I have to thank people like Contessa Washington, my dear friend who worked with Oakland Forward and really just, oh, if you guys ever have an angel that swoops down and just sort of is there to help navigate your needs, but also be a listening ear and be supportive, not just to me, but I got, really got to spread that love out amongst the other activists in our area. I can honestly say that Contessa is one of those folks who, as Oakland Forward showed up in my neighborhood, she was really integral in that. And so I thank her, I thank Oakland Forward, I thank Kermit, I thank Amber, I'm not Amber, I'm sorry, Autumn, for really supporting us. When I met them, I think when Jamila Martin made sure that I got connected with them, I was like, oh my God, I found my tribe, right? I found those other really passionate activists who believe in what we're doing and are immediately jumped in to support the work that we're doing locally. So I just have to say cheers to all of the folks over at Oakland Forward, Chris Ford, Charles Thomas. Oh my gosh, if I'm forgetting your name, please forgive me. But really, so now that moves me into my other social activist friend, which is Miss Stephanie Kreider and her husband, Walter Kreider. They have been rock stars in the central Oakland area around policing and around community policing, along with Dr. Patricia Coleman Burns as well. I just want to lift that as well, and Danielle Ware. They have been really at the front lines of addressing directly with our police departments and our police entities what it looks like for community policing, hosting events, hosting town halls, doing television shows. So if there are folks out there that are interested in expungement and all those things that are going on, please stay connected in that work. A lot of headway has been made. I'll give you guys one statistic about Novi, only because I've talked about us and what's been going on here. We had about 89% of our traffic tickets, our arrests, and our stops were primarily Black people. Well, Novi is only about 7.7% Black. So we really couldn't understand how out of almost 63,000 residents, so many of us were being pulled over when there ain't that many of us. So yeah, I believe it was early last year, we got the police dashboard where they actually have to report what those stops are and who's actually being pulled over. And at the most recent look, probably like late November, we were down to about 47%. And I really believe that came about from our advocacy of that dashboard being public, accessible, and accountable to the activities of our police. We, at the beginning of the year, also got a brand new police chief after, oh my gosh, maybe 10, 15 years. We got a new police chief, which is Eric Zenzer, who has also been instrumental in really being a partner with us in the community to talk about what it looks like to be involved in community policing. And so I'm grateful for that. We actually have a program coming up in partnership with our library, the police department, our community group with our at Sanctum House with Edie Franklin. We're going to be doing a program regarding human trafficking and kind of the sex trafficking industry, how that's impacted, what resources are available, and to educate our families on, really how do we not only protect, but how do we show up for those young ladies that actually end up getting saved and coming back into our society. So looking forward to that program coming up in 2023. We are looking at some of our Saturday schools with our African American family networks and really looking at how we show up for our students. So 2023 is going to be just filled with so much. Did I cover? Oh, reparations. Oh, so reparations, y'all. Oh, let me go back. I gotta go back. Stephanie and Walt started a uh, social justice, agape social justice. Please check it out on the African American Family Network, family Facebook page, where we did post all the links to their social media, how you can start to watch the episodes, because I got to do a couple of the first episodes in their first quarter. And so I want you guys to be looking out for that. Your girl tried to show up and really bring light to a couple unfortunate areas that we need to be concerned about, but I hope that we'll be hopeful in our year coming up. So one was, we got a chance to talk about reparations. So earlier this year, in partnership with my brother, who is Tariq Nasheed, please check out The Hidden Colors and the upcoming movie, American Maroons. But he hosted earlier this November 5th, in DC. He hosted a rally for reparations, and we hosted on the same day a very daunting effort to try to host it in 3 locations. Y'all, it was a day. I'm only laughing because my daughters know that it was a day. Um, Beautiful day. But we tried to host in 3 locations. We had a Southfield, a Pontiac, and they were only like within a couple hours of each other. And then we tried to host one that night in Detroit, but the wonderful weather that came through, that was 60 miles an hour, took out the power all down in the Eastern Market area, which caused us to have no power at our final location. But earlier that day, we had a great response. And I'm so proud of all of you that came out, asked questions, and have been supportive of the reparations. But please check us out at mireparations.org so that you can find out more about what we're doing around reparations, not just here in Michigan, but across the US. The coalition is building. As you know already through news, there's so much that's going on with reparations in states like California, Minnesota, and Illinois. And across the South. Well, I wanted to make sure that Michigan showed up in that space. So on February 1st, we are also offering a My Reparations Coalition Summit, where I want all of our reparation workers, everybody that's an activist or an advocate that has initiated work and is continuing to further the narrative around reparations, to come together so we can talk about the work that we're doing. We can highlight what you're doing, some support amongst our different organizations to make sure that we are collaborating and working towards our final goal, which is reparations once and for all. We shouldn't even have to talk about it, y'all, but that's where we are. And we're going to have some folks to join us to talk about how you can check your lineage, how you can find out how you qualify for reparations. So that is coming up. So we started that this year. So much going on. We're going to talk in 2023 about ending racial trauma in Michigan. Unfortunately, we started off this year with several of our schools, students in walkouts because of some of the racial trauma that they were experiencing in and around their schools. And I'm so proud of our kids for standing up in that space. But I wanted to make sure that we as adults showed up to be able to give them the necessary support that they require to address their racial trauma. And I'll just give you guys a real quick snapshot. So all of these schools were having sort of these, threats in the last few months as kids were returning to school. Now, out in places like Novi and other school districts, when those things happen to close down a school, those kids were offered some mental health support, resources, but some of those schools that closed down just had the kids go back to school the next day. And we say that that's not satisfactory. We really want to make sure that if our kids are experiencing any kind of trauma, that they are particularly supported through mental health services with organizations that, like my good friend Michael Garrett represents, which is CNS Healthcare, that the kids get an opportunity to have a voice around what they're experiencing. So we're going to make sure that that's happening in 2023. We're going to be talking about some financial things in 2023, particularly around housing for our young people. I don't want to see any of us in apartments if we can avoid it. I want to see us have home ownership. I want to see us get those benefits for having home ownerships as we start our business and look at how we take care of ourselves as we get into our golden years. We're also going to talk about our nonprofit space. So as you guys have seen me asking with our nonprofits, we don't get a lot of funding. Let's be real. Our federal government acknowledged that out of all of the COVID money that went out, only 1.7% of those dollars went out to Black and marginalized groups. That is appalling. That's embarrassing. When you and I know that those were the very groups that probably needed or do need, not even probably, that do need the most help. And I'm planning to call out a few organizations, y'all. I'm just going to give you a little teaser. We're going to be calling out United Way. In the state of Michigan and across in other states, United Way globally is one of the largest receivers of automatic deduction donations. The highest percentage of people who participate in those auto deductions happen to be Black people. I don't know if you all knew this, and I mentioned it in previous times, but we are some of the highest number of people who are charitable. Now, if you think about what resources we have and where we actually build those ability to give, we are the most likely to give. We give the most over all other groups, yet we're the groups that don't have as much. So we're going to be talking about that and calling some of that out, because I want to see your dollars really touch the organizations that are going to have the kind of changes that you want to see. And in order for us to get there, we got to rethink about how we donate and to whom we donate to. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Those are just some teasers for 2023. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it, very real, and we are going to expose the areas that need to be exposed. So for 2022, I know I'm not going to be able to thank everybody. I do want to thank my family, like I mentioned, my daughters, Taylor and Cameron. I want to thank my father. Oh my God, my father has been so supportive. I'm grateful that he is my one living parent. I'm grateful to have my stepmom as well, Miss Diana. I'm grateful for my brothers and sisters. I'm grateful for my own brother, like Tariq, and my brother Che, and my brother Lee Michael. I have so many brothers, y'all. My sisters, oh my God, Vanetta, Natalie, Tracy. You guys are literally the glue that keeps me going. Thank you so much for your love and for all of your support and putting up with my late night texts and my late night phone calls and talking me through everything. I am just beyond grateful. Who else? Oh my God, there's so many people. I know I did not thank everybody. So I'm going to do a big, giant thank you. If I missed your name, if I missed your organization, please forgive me. You know, I think of you. I love you. I would not be where I am in my health, in my job, in my work. I think about all my friends and family that are at CCA. Big shout out to Charles and Linda Timms, who are like surrogate parents to me and surrogate grandparents. Oh my God, thank you to Toby Tanzel. Thank you to my producer, my sister, my best friend, my love of my life, to my sister, Miss Haywood. I don't know if she wants me to say her first name, but thank you, Miss Haywood. Shout out to my producer, my editor. Oh my God, there's so many. Vanessa Harris, to Keon Payton. Oh my gosh, it's so many people I could be thanking. All of my friends in Detroit. Oh my God, I miss y'all. I love y'all. I love the work that you're doing, Jamila. Oh my God, shout out to the Detroit Phoenix Center. Shout out to the Detroit Boxing. It's so many people I could thank for 2022. Y'all made it. Y'all made me get this far. I'm trying to get emotional. Y'all know how passionate I am about not only our families, but our children. And so, thank you for being patient with me. I know I can be a little edgy. I'm sorry. Thank you to my sisters in style. Oh my gosh, who else? My young boys in Phase Forward. Thank you to those young men. To my dear friend, William Malcolm, to Corey Chavis, to all my friends at Clarenceville School District. I miss my students there. To all my kids in Novi, all my volunteers. Oh my God, to Beverly Lynn. Oh God, if y'all only knew. Bev Lynn has literally, what can I say, bankrolled so many projects in my life, in my foundation, and in our community. She often does not ever ask for recognition to April, I don't even know if I can say April's name, so I won't say her whole name, but to April, who literally every single week donates food every month, regularly, consistently for the last several years. Thank you to Pastor Carter and to Deanna Gaffney, who give me wonderful space in our Novi United Church, so that all of the programs I do have a home and a place to live. Um, Thank you to Tyra Mitchner and to her husband. Thank you to Betsy Bodwine. Thank you to Sharon Trumpy. Oh my God, y'all want to talk about wind beneath people's wings, who have been holding down the Novi, Northville racial awareness, accountability and action, and actually getting things done. Congratulations to my friends that got on the school board here in Novi and across Oakland County. Rhonda Powell, who's holding it down in Macomb and been very supportive to Oakland County. Just so many people I'm grateful for, y'all, that, this work, it is not always easy. Your girl faces a lot of challenges, but as soon as I'm off a phone or out of a meeting and I'm feeling discouraged, every single person I've named, and even some whose names I did not mention, y'all keep me going. Y'all are why I fight. Y'all are why I push, not only because it has a meaning and it has a significance, but I could not do this without you. So I wanted to make sure that in some small way, and I know this isn't significant enough, I'm still thinking of names. I got Erica Botnick and her husband Andy and their family. Oh my gosh, y'all, just some blessings in my life. Chastity Detroit with my friend Connie Goldstein. Just I would not be here without all of the people who have been given access, who's made sure I'm in the right space, who've heard my harsh words and my fight, who give me protection when I needed it. Oh my gosh, thank you. I pray that all of you have wonderful organizations that thrive in the year to come, that we continue to stay partnered, and that if and when you need this girl right here, that you do not hesitate to pick up the phone, let me know how I can be of help, and that you collaborate with me and continue to support me. I love each and every one of you. I wish you lifting your wine glasses, lifting your mocktails. I'm so grateful for this past year. I'm grateful for my health, for my family, for all the loves of my life, and for you all standing me being creative and lending your voice, your time, and your energy to my projects and putting up with me. Please know it does not fall on my heart lightly, what sacrifice and investment that you make in me, and how much it means to me when you do, how much I know you trust me with not only your own pride and possessions, but with your children. I thank you. I really, really do thank you. You made this year amazing. And I cannot wait till next year. So thank you all before I just bust out into tears. Thank you. I love you all. Happy, happy, happy new year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I will see you very soon in 2023. God bless you all. Love you. Bye-bye.